The youth movement in Yemen has really been a catalyst for extensive political change. The independent youth activists were inspired back at the start of the year by all the wave of protests and demonstrations across the region, and their demand for a modern civil state has really changed the contours of politics in modern Yemen. As a result of these kind of large numbers of people who were coming out onto the streets and calling for change, there was growing tension inside Yemen's elite, and we saw the first split in March when a senior army general came out and supported the protesters after an attack on their camp. And then that followed by a conflict between two rival families that actually started fighting each other in the streets of the capital. One family was the president's family and his son and his nephews, who control the military units that receive Western military aid, training and support. The other family is a very prominent tribal family who long held a significant position inside Yemen's kind of political regime structure. So these two families really were at loggerheads in May, and that ended with the attack on the presidential palace. Yemen's president, Ali Abdullah Saleh, is still in hospital in Riyadh, recuperating after surgery that followed from the injuries that he sustained during the attack on the palace. His son and his nephews remain in the capital in command of their own military units. The military is split. There is another very powerful army general who's no longer affiliated with the president's family. And then you have the kind of powerful tribal families and the business community. There's not yet a clear picture about the real balance of power within the elite, the political regime elite in Yemen. And there are ongoing talks about efforts to create a new national unity government and how to manage the transfer of power. The issues that have been raised by this revolution are going to take a long time to play out. There is a vision in the political class of a new structure, a much stronger parliament, possibly more devolution to kind of manage all the local grievances and the resentment that the Southerners feel and the rebels in the north could possibly be managed within a more federal framework. But and even rewriting the new constitution, all of these processes, all of these issues are going to take quite some time to play out. And Yemen is not looking at a clean transition of power. I think the more likely scenario is going to be a contested process over a period of several years. The most pressing challenge at the moment is the economy, and that's having an impact on people's lives right across the country. This is a breadline economy. This is a country where a third of the population are living under the breadline. And food prices are rising, the price of water is rising, and the price of diesel is also rising. So the international community needs to find a way to respond quite rapidly to the kind of basic household resilience right across the country. Over the course of the next few years, we're going to be running a series of workshops with Yemeni youth groups and civil society organisations to help them get their voices heard in Western capitals as part of our commitment to political inclusion in Yemen and finding a more inclusive political settlement.